Companies come into Techstars and they think it's going to be transformational. They have no idea just how transformational it's going to be.
In 3 months, these companies going through a program literally will get 2 years of work done.
It's emotionally and I think intellectually draining.
It really is truly intense.
Well, it has been a grind, it has been tiring, but it's also been exhilarating.
We just got finished with 3 weeks of the Mentor Madness programs.
We've had 115 odd meetings or something, and it was just like, you know, people from across the ecosystem. It was insane.
Think about you're going through, you have 20-minute meetings, you're just scraping the surface of meeting these people, and you're meeting 115 of them over the course of 3 weeks, which is just insane.
It's stress testing how well you can build a network and how quickly.
Suddenly I have a huge US network, or a Minnesotan network actually.
Been really impressed with the level of executive mentorship in the area.
So each company, they have their own lead mentors. So we can like go deep in specific things. We have a mentor to help us in sales. We have a new one who will help us to grow.
Mentor Madness was somewhat overwhelming, but it was also really helpful because it was a ton of advice that you were able to get condensed into a short period of time.
You get so much feedback in such an intense amount of time.
So we talked to them about mentor whiplash, which is an actual thing. They'll go from room to room, and in one room they'll get one piece of advice, and in the next room they will get the exact opposite piece of advice.
It's a stress test on the team. It's a stress test on your idea. Really, at the end of the day, it's a stress test on what you're going to do for the next 2 months.
What was really interesting was getting the outside feedback from mentors who work in and amongst industry professionals with a certain level of expertise.
Cargill's been in the business of food supply chain and logistics and getting food from a farmer's field to where it needs to go. And Big Wheelbarrow is addressing a market that Cargill's not in. And so we're encouraged by that and excited by the technology that they're bringing to help connect it in the local food market.
And for them to come into a room and see what these companies are doing and say, wow, these are great ideas.
I don't think anybody can really comprehend what that means for a business.
What they have to do now is take all that feedback and decide which way they need to go.
Out of this process, we gained some really great insight about one of our key sectors, and it unlocked a really cool opportunity for us to hone our vision and focus on a very specific market.
One big advantage for the entrepreneurs that go through the program, they take a lot of the knowledge and the advice and expertise that they got in that first month, and they act on it, they build on it. They start creating new products, they're going out and selling, they're leveraging the new connections that they have to do those types of things that will help accelerate their business.
So now we're actually in the process of putting together a product that addresses this market head on, and we're building it for the next 2 months.
One surprise for us has been finding interesting partnerships with other companies in the cohort. One example is that we're working with Dish. They've developed the food grain, and Okara is this new ingredient that we're bringing to market. So we're working with them to think about ways that we can pair Okara with other food products and have a really interesting portfolio for our R&D work using their food grain.
We have this core food brain, so it's taste prediction technology. And we have some ideas before going into these meetings about where it might be relevant in the ecosystem. What was interesting to us is that we found 5 or 6 different new use cases of the technology.
2 really big insights came out of Mentor Madness that I wasn't expecting. The first of which was a new product concept that really helps us take our heating technology and applies it in a way that meets a need that food and beverage manufacturers have that we hadn't considered before. It's not only a really big need, but it's also a very valuable one.
One of the hardest things about being in the middle of the program is that you start getting nervous about demo day, and you feel like you need to be taking action specifically for demo day.
Making sure that they're focused on exactly what their business needs to do and where it needs to go is going to be very, very important.
The next several weeks for us is really kind of going hard on the business.
Execute, start going faster than we ever have before, moving projects forward in ways that we've never had the focus and support to be able to do.
It's 60 days to demo day, and we're counting down every hour and every minute. Time to get back to work.
I've got like 7 meetings to go now, so I need to get going. All right, guys, I'm really sorry I have to go, okay? Bye.
There is a little bit of a race against time. The end of the program actually is aligned with our full-scale installation going into place. So we'll have, about 17,000 pounds of flour that'll be produced every week starting almost right at the end of the program.
Our goal is to launch this new product before demo day. The pressure is on.